Hi, this is Pallavi Joshi, and you're watching me on FilmiBeat. Nana is like wine, he just improves with age. He takes everything to the minutest detail, and the thought process behind that was just amazing. So, a couple of times I just forgot to speak my lines and said, Kadala. And I said, sorry, I just kept watching you. And that's how it happened. And those two negative characters made such an impact that everyone thinks Vivek only casts me. And yes, because it's a film, somebody has to be good and somebody has to be bad. So the bad has to, be the fall guy. Now I had to completely spoil the grammar and just make a waste out of the grammar.
Hi guys, welcome to FilmiBeat. This is Murtaza Iqbal and today I'm with an actress. Before I give her any introduction, I want to share a story. A few weeks ago, I spoke to her on a call and I asked her that, ma'am, do you think you will win a national award for the Kashmir Files? And she said that she doesn't expect. If she gets, it's good. And when she got the award, I was very happy because I knew that she's going to win that award, and that's why I asked her the question. And today, here she is. We are going to talk to her about a lot of things. Her upcoming film, The Vaccine War. I'm here with Pallavi Joshi, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Welcome to FilmiBeat.
Hi, Murtaza. Thank you. It's wonderful talking to you as always.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, congratulations, National Award. I had predicted this.
Yes, you had. I was wrong. You were right.
So, ma'am, of course, first of all, I would like to start you by asking this only that, for the Tashkent Files, for the Kashmir Files, you won a national award. The vaccine war is coming. As an actor, does that put up a pressure on you? Okay, I have to give that best again. If not, of course, I might again predict that you might get a national award for this one also. But does that put a pressure? क्योंकि अब तो कुछ ऐसा deliver करना ही पड़ेगा.
As an actor, no, because everyone knows that it's impossible to win awards for every work that you do. But the responsibility goes up tremendously. So even if it doesn't matter whether I win an award or not, but the performance has to be at a level where people don't go back disappointed. So I cannot even leave one scene loose now. I have to concentrate on every single moment, which I anyway have been doing because I love acting with a passion. But then yes, it gives you a tremendous sense of responsibility.
Yes, I would also like to point this out that finally Vivek sir has given you a positive role.
Yes, but unfortunately, I've been doing so many, we've been doing so many projects together. Everywhere I've played a positive role. It was only with Tashkent when I picked up, I chose to do Aisha Alisha, and then I think there were only 3 characters in Kashmir Files, 3 female characters. One was Lakshmi, who was supposed to be an old woman. Then there was Bhasha, who played the Kashmiri Pandit's Bahu.
Yeah.
And he was very sure he wanted a Kashmiri in that character. So that left only Radhika Menon. And then he said that, Pallavi, this is a brilliant role. I'm in love with this character. But you see, it's going in a very different direction. But when I read that character, I said, any actor who does this character has to do it very honestly, very sincerely, and not make a caricature out of it, not make a villain out of her, because this is something that she truly believes in. And when you make a political commentary about something, you have to put both the sides of the coin in front of people. So I cannot be in the capacity of an actor, and Vivek also in the capacity of a director, deriding anybody who has different ideologies, but we present it in front of people. And yes, because it's a film, somebody has to be good and somebody has to be bad, so the bad has to, be the fall guy. But apart from that, I think it was a very sincere effort. And that's why I told Vivek that, I am a very honest person. So I'll do this character honestly. And that's how it happened. And those 2 negative characters made such an impact that everyone thinks Vivek only casts me in, all these villainous kind of characters.
Right. But did he by chance offer you Raima's role this time?
No, he didn't. Because when he started interviewing the scientists and he met Dr. Priya Abraham, everybody in the unit said that, Pallavi ma'am will play this character, because I think somewhere I look a lot like her, and everyone thought that I'll be able to pull off looking like her much better than any other actor.
Right. You spoke about getting the accent, I think the Malayali accent that you spoke about. How difficult was that? Because, you have been someone who has been in Mumbai for so long, no connection in South.
Right.
So how difficult was that?
It was a little difficult because, I speak Hindi very well. Now I had to completely spoil the grammar and just make a waste out of the grammar, So I actually wrote a parallel script right next to the dialogues that I was given. And I, basically murdered every single, grammatic, whatever, conjugations and uh, whatever articles they were. And I made everything into a neutral gender
Right.
without giving it
Yeah.
any specific gender. So what happened at times was that I spoke correct Hindi in the shot, and then I would say sorry, let's take one more. मैं गलत बोल गई. And then people would turn around and say नहीं आप तो सही बोल गई. I said नहीं सही नहीं बोलना था वही गलत था. So but I stayed like that for a long time because there is a sequence of Iran in the film, and I kept saying Iran instead of Iran. So I was so used to that accent, and I kept talking like that through the film, that when the film was over and we were doing the post-production, my son was handling the post-production. So I turned around something and I asked Manan, I said, Manan, what about the Iran sequence? So he turned to me and he said, Mama, the film is over. At least now call it Iran. You don't have to keep saying Iran anymore. So yeah, that it was a little difficult, but then I got the hang of it. I actually enjoyed speaking that language.
Right. I would like to know how was it to working with Nana sir after a very long time, and I saw a very kind of different kind of camaraderie between you guys at the trailer launch.
Yeah.
He was talking to you while the question and answer were going on. So how was it to be back on the sets with him?
See, Nana and I think we've worked together after 80s.
Yeah, 88 Trishagni.
Trishagni. Andhayod and Trishagni are the two films we've done. Although we kept bumping into each other, but we never got to do a film together. And throughout the film, actually, Nana was, how do you say, he was a little tense playing this character. Because he knew that Balram Bhargav, as he spoke yesterday, he's very different from Balram Bhargav. Balram Bhargav is a very polished, sophisticated man, and of course he's a taskmaster, and he was very hard on his people because he wanted to make the vaccine in the shortest period of time. But apart from that, he's a very mild-mannered person, which is like nothing like Nana, So when Vivek explained the character to him, Nana knew that he has to turn around completely, change his personality, flip his personality completely. So throughout the screening, throughout the shooting, he was a little tense about the character, and he kept talking to everybody. He said, "ठीक हुआ ना, अगला scene कौन सा है?" And then he would rattle off his lines. He knew the entire script by heart. But as the shooting got over, I think once he started relaxing, once the climax was done, then we saw the old Nana again, And I think somewhere that Marathi connect is there between us. So it was wonderful working with him again. And as far as the acting is concerned, I would just say that Nana is like wine, he just improves with age. When what he was during Trishagni and Andhayod, he's far, far superior now. And while we were performing scenes together, I used to forget speaking my lines. It happened on a couple of occasions, and I just kept watching him. And the craft as it unfolds in front of you, for somebody who knows that craft and who practices that craft, it was like magic unfolding in front of my eyes. How detailed, he takes everything to the minutest detail, and the thought process behind that was just amazing. So a couple of times I just forgot to speak my lines and said, Kadala. And I said, sorry, I just kept watching you,
Right.
He's amazing.
Vivek sir spoke about how, the vaccine war is not called the most awaited film of the year. But, the Tashkent Files happened, it was a hit. The Kashmir Files blockbuster. Does that demotivate a bit that why are we not being considered? You are the producer as well.
Yeah.
Why are we being not considered after giving such good content movies that have done at the box office as well? So does that demotivate you, or you are happy to be that underdog कि हम तो आराम से आएंगे पर देखो क्या करके जाते हैं?
No, not the underdog. But I don't feel demotivated because I knew this was going to happen. Maybe a few years ago, if this had happened to me, I would have been, very sad about it. But having reached a certain maturity and understanding and knowing how the way the world works, I know that as long as I do my job well and I do it with 100% honesty, it doesn't really matter to me what the world thinks, because I know what I'm doing is right. So even if it's not the most awaited film of the year, I'm sure we've gathered a good amount of audience with the past 3 films, and I'm sure they're going to come to the theaters, and this story will reach far and wide. And that is the motive behind making this film, that the youngsters of our country, they should be able to take immense pride in what our country has achieved. And as long as that messaging reaches people, I'm fine. It's a very small film, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not even looking in terms of, like a 100 crore plus cash flow or something, because, I mean, honestly, I'll be very happy, of course, if the film does well. And of course, who doesn't like to earn money?
Course, yeah.
But that is not that's not the motive. That was not the reason why we made this film. Otherwise, we would have made Kashmir Files Part 2, if money is what we were after. But abhi jo bhi hai, I think भगवान का प्रसाद है इसके बाद.
Right. So lastly, before I wrap up, I have to ask this, that of course I know the next is Delhi Files, and you had told me last time that you guys are working, researching on it. But I have seen that you and Vivek, so you both have a very good sense of humor. Why don't you guys at Plaid make a comedy film? Because we need good comedy film, I think, right now in the industry. And I have seen, I have whatever interaction or whatever thing I have seen Vivek, so he has a great sense of humor. Why don't you guys plan a comedy film now?
Now that you say it, in fact, it was the sense of humor that connected the two of us. We were friends earlier, but before anything happened, it was one thing that connected, and I guess that's how we got attracted to each other. Having said so, you'll find a little humor in this film.
The vaccine war?
The vaccine war, at very unexpected places. So it just gives you kind of a rip-tickling moment, but it's not comedy.
Right.
And see, I don't know if I'm good at comedy. I suck at farce, I've tried my hand at it, and I was very bad. So I thought, let me, stick to my serious acting, because that is what I know best. But humor is something, as a genre, I want to, explore it, like Angur.
Yeah.
Gulzar Saab's Angur. I thought it was not a comedy film, but it was such a humorous film.
Yeah.
I'm up for doing something like this. So once I think this thing of Delhi Files is off our heads, then maybe I should think in those directions.
Right. So, ma'am, it was really nice chatting with you as always, and all the best for the vaccine war. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. And remember, guys, India can do it.
Yes, India can do it.
Thank you so much,
Murtaza.
ma'am. Thank you.